Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here with this month's video for the collab with Deb Houck's Crafty Cottage, where there's a bunch of us girls making, doing cards once a month where we post our videos on the 15th of every month. We've been doing it for the whole year of 2020 every month. So this has been quite fun. And so what we're doing is just using our stash to create cards, not going out and buying anything special, just using what we have. So this month I thought I would try using a paper pad, just a paper pad, and the only thing I'm really adding is a stamp for the inside sentiment. So, and this month I'm making envelopes and cards, and they're small, like this right here. They're about 3 by 4. And so this is what I did before I turned on the camera. I made 2 as an example. And it's from one paper pad, so it's coordinating, and it was a paper pad I was already using to work, create a junk journal or a journal, Christmas journal this past week. And it's this one here that I showed during those videos, American Crafts. It's called Jolly, and it is, I picked it up at Tuesday morning last year. So I had it in my stash from last year. I haven't bought any new Christmas paper pads this year. I didn't need any. But this is actually a really cool paper pad because it has, Christmas papers in here. As you can see, there's snowmen and Christmas stockings. But then there's some like generic paper right here, like these stripes. And let's see, this kind of has ornaments on it. But this right here doesn't necessarily scream Christmas. And even this right here with the stars, you don't really say, oh, that's Christmassy. It's just, stars. And you could use that in little circles. So you could use that for other things, not just Christmas. And like these polka dots, that's not so Christmassy. Even this right here, and especially not this. Even though, I wouldn't say that screams Christmas. So, it has, here's gifts, like Christmas gifts. So that is Christmassy. But anyway, here's Christmas bulbs. You get the picture pretty much there. So here's what I made. I wanted to have, I thought I already had these cut because I was making ephemera the other night. And I already did a video on that where I was creating ephemera from this paper pad. And so I had some little squares cut where I was making envelopes. So I went ahead and made a couple more envelopes. This one has the Christmas trees. And this one you can see little stars and little they almost look like asterisks there. So, yep, those are on this envelope. And then each one, I already made a little card. So I'm going to show you how I did these, but this is what I already did. So I'm going to show you these first. This one, I just took another piece of scrapbook paper from this paper pad and cut it to fit in the envelope. So you can see it's about 4 inches wide and 6 inches in length, so that when you fold it in half, it fits in a 3-inch length envelope. So I'm going to show you how I made them. Really simple. And then this one also, same paper. And here's my sentiment. I have a little rubber stamp that says wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year that I picked up at a thrift store this past year. During this past year. So those 2 cards I'm considering done. The plan for these is not necessarily to mail these or anything like that. They're small, but to use them like, either with a gift or in Happy Mail or with my Etsy orders or, wherever I need a little card like this. So those 2 I'm calling done. So I'm going to show you first how I made the envelopes. I'll go ahead and make, I'll just make one and see if we have time to make more than one. Let's see, I made a star and a Christmas tree. And do I have any other patterns cut? No. So let's make another Christmas tree, and let's make another star. So this is, I'm just making the envelopes with my envelope punch board. And so I showed you this the other night. And all you do, in case you didn't see that video or you haven't seen anybody use an envelope punch board before, this is it. And this is a regular size one, and there's a mini one too if you want to make some mini envelopes. I have that one too, but I don't have it out tonight. but this is cut into a 6x6 square, and it's supposed to make a 3x4 envelope. So to do that, we just line it up in on our 2 5/8 mark right here, and you punch, and then you score. Right here, there's a little score line. You score, and you turn, and you line your score line up with this little point right here, and do it again, and just score. Let's see, did I already punch? Yeah. And line up your score line again and punch. And this is our third score here. Okay, and then you turn, line it up again on, this is the fourth one, so you have all your sides now after this. So just line that up with your score line, punch. Now what I've been doing, because I noticed, even though this is how it says to do it, it's kind of off. So you see this right here? Let me show you up close. If I do it like this, it's going to be off a little bit. See, it's supposed to be down here, the next score line, and this is my last one. So I'm going to lift this up a little, or I'm going to push it over a little bit, just like that, so that, see, I can see where I'm going to score. It's going to be right even with this right here. I want to be folding. We're going to be folding. See all the other folds, or all the other score lines? They go right to the corners. This one goes to the corner, this one goes to the corner. For some reason, I don't know why, when I do this last one, it's lining up right here, not right on the corner. So I'm just moving it over. I'm just making my own adjustment here to make sure this comes out right. So I'm moving my score line over to be even with this corner. So if you do that, if you have one of these boards and your envelopes haven't been coming out right, this is what I'm doing to fix this issue that I've been having. So I pushed it over to line up my corner with my score line. Go ahead and score. And there you have, now all your, by doing that little fix, all your score lines are on your corners, and you're going to have an even, when you fold them, you're going to have an even envelope, okay? Now go ahead, you can go ahead and fold in your corners. And what I've been doing is just, there's a corner rounder on the envelope punch board, but this is just a little faster for the video to use my regular corner rounder. And so I'm going to fold and make my envelope, and you have that ready. Now at this point, you can make sure everything's right. So I see I need to cut a little bit right here. That is still off, okay? If it's off, you can just adjust, don't worry. You don't have to throw it out or anything. There was a little bit of extra paper sticking out there, so I cut that off. I'm going to round this corner a little bit to make it the same as the other one. There you go, just all fixed up. You can pretty much, unless you just totally mess it up, you can pretty much, do it wrong. You can pretty much fix little issues like that. So then you just put a little glue, and I put my glue on these flaps here, so I don't put too much glue and go like out to my corner. That would be too much, because you see you have space here where you don't glue it to anything, this flap right here. So I just put my glue right here on these two flaps, so that I don't get too much glue on the other flap. And I was just using this, of course, before the video. This always happens. It's fine before the video, and then I turn it on and it decides to be stuck in there. So and I even put my pin back in before the video so it wouldn't do that. All right, let's see if it's going to work for me now. Yep. Yes, that always works. So a little bit of glue on our little flaps there. And then we're going to glue down our big fold up flap here. And our envelope is pretty much ready. Let's see, just make sure I get enough glue inside here so that flap is nice and glued down. I didn't quite get it out to the edge there. I should have put it out a little bit more. But this way it's going to be nice and glued down. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more in here. You can always work on that. I don't have to do this right now, but just to tell you, just get it all nice and glued down. Okay, so you have a pretty little envelope here. There's your envelope, and it's, you could put a little focal point on here or something, or a label if you want to put a name, but I like it just like this. And then I'm going to make my card, and I already have a 12 by 12 piece of paper that I pulled out for the other cards. So, and this is really a good use of a 12 by 12 because all the measurements come out easy, even. Like if you're making the envelopes, you could take a 12 by 12 piece of paper and cut out the 4 6 by 6 squares, and you don't have any scraps, right? You used all 4 pieces of your 12 by 12 piece of paper to make 4 envelopes. So then you're making your cards, and they are 4 inches wide. So you just take your 12 by 12 paper, and let me measure. I already cut off one 4-inch strip here. So now I'm going to have 2 more 4-inch strips, 4-inch wide strips to fit in our envelopes. So I'm just measuring the 4 inches, and then see you'll have used every piece of, no cutoffs or no scraps from your 12 by 12 piece of paper, which works out really well, I think. So, here's 2 more, and you get 2 cards out of each one of these. Is how it works out, because 12 inches long, and your cards are 6 inches long each. So let's cut these at the same time. I can make 4 more cards, and let me just measure so I can make sure where I'm cutting. So I've got my 12-inch ruler here, and I'm just going to go ahead and mark my 6-inch mark right here in the middle, and cut. I'm cutting 2 pieces of paper at the same time, save a little time here, and make sure everything's even. Cut those. And there we go, ready to go. Now I am rounding my corners. Just going to do one right now, so I'll take 1 piece out, but these are 3 more cards ready to go for my next cards. I'm going to go ahead and round my corners from the beginning. And all 4 corners, so you have a nice finished look. And then I'm just folding this in half, and you can score this if you want. I'm not really going to worry about that. I'm just folding it in half. This paper is, maybe this is cardstock, but it's not super thick, it's just thick enough to be good for this folding, and it doesn't crack or anything. But yeah, so you can see I have a nice fold there. So let's go ahead and do, let's do our sentiment last, so I don't have to worry about smearing. And then we'll decorate first. So what I've been doing to decorate is using, let's see if I have any more here now. I was using a strip from the top, this little strip you cut off the top of your paper pad. So let me see if I can cut one off real quick. Let's see, I used kind of the olive green one that I had before there. See, there are different colors in here, so that's handy too. See, I used this one right here. This olive green already. Let's use a different color on this one, because I would like to use a different color. And since these all come from the same paper pad, it's really cool because you can make them all coordinate together in the end. At first you're like, oh, you're putting aqua on burgundy, but I'll show you what happens when you have the same paper pad and all your colors and your papers coordinate. It's really cool how you can bring it all together. So let me get this straight and just cut off this strip real quick. See, now I've got my little strip here, which is normally, maybe you throw these away, but when you're making cards, they come in really handy. And then I'm going to take a piece and just, see this one I think I will, let's see, where's that one I just made? I want to make one something like this. No, not this one. Hold on. This one right here with the snowman. I want to make another one of these, but I want to put the snowman up in the middle this time. So let's put this here as our example. And what I've been doing with this strip is just kind of put it to the end here, right to the side where I know it's going to be even. And then I kind of fold over here where I think I'm going to cut, so that I can put some glue under there. So I'm bringing it right there where I think I'm going to cut. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on here. Glue this little strip down without cutting it, because I'm just doing this because I want to make sure of where I'm cutting. I don't want to cut it too short. If I cut it too long, that's one thing, but if I cut it too short, that's another thing. You know, then we're kind of wasting paper, and trying not to waste the paper. So that's kind of, I'm not really measuring the middle. I just wanted it, I like this one, but I wanted to do one different, you know, try this in the middle. I think it'll look cute in the middle too. And you can do one toward the top too if you want. You can do one down, stripe down the side, you know, or you can do crisscrossing stripes, you know, just have fun with it. So now I know where it is exactly, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut it like this. Cut my strip off without cutting my card. And there we go. We have a little decorative strip on our card. And I'm going to get the snowmen again. Now see how the snowmen have all the colors in this paper pack. They have the burgundy. Well, there's no brown on here. There's brown in this paper pack too. But there's the burgundy, the green, and the aqua in these snowmen. And I'm just cutting, excuse me, I'm getting a dry throat. 3 snowmen. So let's see, I've got 3 and 2. So that's going to be some other pieces I can use on other cards. But then I'm just rounding the corners here. Okay. And I'm not inking these or anything. I just like them. I just, you know, I don't want to mess it up by inking it. I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. If you want to ink around the edges and make the edges like some coordinating color, I think that would be pretty. If you had like a marker or ink, that would be one of these colors. I think that would be pretty. I just don't have that, so I'm not doing that. So like I said, this is in the middle. See how this one I put across the band, little strip down here. This one's in the middle, so I'm going to put this one up here. Try to center it on the card and on, well, basically I'm centering it on the card and on the little stripe. Okay, trying to make it straight across the top, across the bottom there, kind of just get everything squared off there as best I can. And I already put my glue on there, and now we're ready for our little rubber stamp, and then this card will be done. So simple, fast, cute, and fun, and you're using up some of your stash, right? Some of your Christmas stash that you've had for a couple years, maybe like me. Okay, so I've just got a regular old black stamp pad here. And this is my rubber stamp that I picked up at a thrift store. So I'm going to get some ink on there. And so then I'll be ready to, you know, write my own little message in there and add it to a package. So let me make sure, I want to make sure I have plenty of ink. Try not to get any out. This does have an outline. So let's see if we can get this in the middle now. Kind of just eyeballing my center, putting it down. And I'm not rocking it or anything. I'm just pressing down all over so that I can make sure I get a good little imprint here or whatever. Make sure my ink is down there. Okay, let's lift it up, see how we did. My last 2 weren't perfect, so I don't expect this one to be perfect either, but you know, it gets the point across, and it's a nice little, it makes a nice little card, sentiment inside of a card, right? So, and you can put more decoration in your card, you know, add a little snowman or something in there, but that's how I'm leaving it right now. So I kind of want to make sure that's dry so that I don't close it and get ink up here or anything like that. So let it dry for a second maybe, and if you're worried about that. And then here's our little star envelope we just made. And let's see, it's going to fit right inside. Yes, perfect little fit there. And I just thought that was a really fun way to use up some of your 12 by 12 Christmas paper pads this month, because, you know, before we know it, it's October 14th today, and before we know it, we'll be ready to use some of our Christmas cards that we've been making over the last few months, if you've been making Christmas cards like I have. So now I have these 4 cute little Christmas cards. Where's my other one? I lost one. I know it's here somewhere though, but I can't find it. Anyway, I've got 4 cards, and I think they turned out really cute. So just an idea for you for this month for the little Christmas card collab. So I hope you liked it. Check out the other ladies. They are they make some really beautiful cards, and I've been watching them too, and I've had fun. Just, you know, trying to think of new ways to make cards from my stash, from what I have. That's the really fun part. So get creative and have some fun with your paper pad this month if you want. And I'll see you next month. We've got only 2 more months here to make cards for this year. So see you next time, and happy crafting.